The following has been developed by state and provincial educational agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Technology. Together, programming for today's learner. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to North America's most challenging new game show, Fraction Subtraction. And now, here's our host, Brenda Boku.
Thank you. All right, let's get to the excitement. First, our reigning champions from Mamaroneck, New York, Sherry Wendell and Anne-Marie Gusfall. And our challengers from Elderberry, Ontario, Eduardo Guerra and Lars Logan. Now, for those of you in our viewing audience who are new to fraction subtraction, the rules are simple. Behind this curtain is a prize, something that contains a fraction. From that prize, we'll ask our contestants to subtract another fraction. The team that comes up with the right answer first gets to put what's left in their treasure chest. As you can see, Sherry and Anne-Marie have had quite a week already. Woo! All right! Woo! Now, today's fraction subtraction action will be mixed numbers. Explain it to them, Barry.
A mixed number is a whole number plus a fraction, like say 1 3/4, or 2 1/2, or 3 5/8. When you're subtracting one mixed number from another, there are a few helpful steps you can follow. Say, for instance, you want to subtract 1 1/2 from 3 1/4. First ask, are denominators the same? No, 1/2 and 1/4. Denominators are different, 2 and 4. How can you make them the same? Well, you can write 1/2 as 2/4. They have the same value. But now ask a second question. Is the top fraction, the number you're subtracting from, larger than the bottom fraction, the number you're subtracting? Well, no. Then what can you do? You got it. Rename the top mixed number. You can rename 3 1/4 as 2 plus 1 plus 1/4. Then you can rename this 1 as 4/4. Then add the fourths. So 3 1/4 can be renamed as 2 5/4. Now you can subtract 2/4 from 5/4 and get 3/4. 2 minus 1 equals 1, so the answer has to be 1 3/4.
Thank you, Barry. Now, on with the game. Are you ready?
Yeah!
Woo! Suppose Grandma came to visit and brought her computer so she can work on the family history. She also brought 6 full boxes containing 5 floppy disks each and 1 box with only 3 disks left in it. That is, she bought 6 3/5 boxes of floppy disks. As she finished the first few chapters, she realized she would only need 3 1/5 boxes and could give the rest to you. How many boxes of floppy disks would you get?
The denominators are the same, so you just subtracted 3 minus 2 fifths, yeah. 6 minus 3 is 3, yeah.
Whoa, our champions rang first. What is your answer, Sherry and Anne-Marie?
3 2/5.
And how do you get that answer?
Well, we looked at the problem and realized, yes, the denominators were the same. And yes, the fraction part of the number we were subtracting from was larger than the one we were subtracting. So we just subtracted 1/5 from 3/5, which left 2/5. Then we subtracted the whole numbers. 6 minus 3 equals 3.
3 2/5. I knew we were close because when we started, I estimated that something over 6 1/2 minus something under 3 1/2 had to be something over 3 but under 4.
Are they right or are they wrong? Show it to us, Barry.
From the 6 3/5 boxes, we subtract 3 1/5 boxes, 3 full boxes, and 1 disc. And that, of course, leaves 3 2/5 boxes, 3 full boxes, and 2 discs.
All right. Well, Lars and Eduardo, you were a little slow on that one, but we're going to give you another chance to win the 3 1/5 boxes of discs that Grandma kept. Are both teams ready?
Yeah!
Woo! Woo! As she gets near the end of her book, Grandma decides that she can give away 1 2/5 more boxes. How many boxes does that mean she's keeping?
2
No, it's not. No, don't do. Our champions are right on top again.
I don't think that's right.
Sure it is.
Look, just estimate. 3 and a little bit minus 1, and almost a half has to be under 2.
The rules say that once you ring the bell, you have to give an immediate answer. Champions, what is your answer?
2 and 1/5.
And how do you get that?
The denominators are still the same. The 2 is larger than 1, so I subtracted 1/5 from 2/5 and got 1/5. Then I subtracted 1 from 3 and got 2. So 2 and 1/5.
Are our champions right or are they wrong? Sorry, champs. Mary, can you please show the champs where they went wrong?
Told you. Well, Anne Marie subtracted 1/5 from 2/5 when the problem says to subtract 2/5 from 1/5.
But you can't subtract a larger fraction from a smaller one.
You can if the whole number is larger. That's when you rename this mixed number.
Bill.
Lars and Eduardo, what's your answer?
1.
1?
1.
How do you get 1?
Okay, since 2/5 is larger than 1/5, you have to rename the 3 and 1/5 to 2 plus 1 plus 1/5. I added this one to this one and got 2/5. 2/5 minus 2/5 equals 0. 2 minus 1 equals 1.
Is Eduardo right or is Eduardo wrong? Sorry, champions. Mary, could you please show Eduardo where he ran into trouble?
Eduardo, you left out a step. You were right that 3 and 1/5 can be renamed as 2 plus 1 plus 1/5. But then, you have to remember to rename this 1 before you add it to this 1/5. 5/5 plus 1/5 is 6/5.
Both teams have missed. Barry, could you please show us with the disc how to solve the problem?
We start with 3 and 1/5 boxes of disc, which can be renamed as 2 plus 1 plus 1/5. Now that one box can be renamed as 5/5 of a box. Add that 5/5 to this 1/5, and you finish renaming 3 1/5 as 2 and 6/5. Now you can subtract your 1 and 2/5 boxes. 6/5 minus 2/5 is 4/5. And 2 minus 1 equals 1, so the answer has to be 1 and 4/5.
Sherry and Anne-Marie, you'll have to settle with the disc you won on the first problem. Lars and Eduardo, maybe you can break into the scoring column with the next delicious problem, which will be coming up right after this break.
This is Mr. Lauren Rogerson of Rogerson Woodworks, a custom cabinet shop in Burbank, California.
The majority of our materials in woodworking are in fraction denominations. We have 3/4, half, 5/8, 7/8. These are the different thicknesses that we use, so we have to subtract fractions all the time. We have 3 columns here that we use: the width, the length, and the thickness of the material. And almost every one of them, as you go down the column, you'll see that there are fractions in every single part. The drawers will have to be built according to the opening space that is in the cabinet. We have to allow a 1/2 inch for our drawer guides, a 1/2 inch on either side for our ball bearing guides, the metal guides that we fasten to the drawer and also to the cabinet. And we have to allow approximately a 1/2 inch for each drawer side. If it's off a 1/16 of an inch, for example, the drawer will not slide properly. This cabinet here, for example, the base cabinet, we are allowed 30 inches of space. That's the total height that the countertop can be. From there, we have to put a 3/4 inch divider between each drawer. All right. So then the space that remains, we have to take our overall height, subtract our countertop, subtract the thickness of the toe kick or the height of the toe kick, plus the thickness of each divider. That determines the space that's left for our drawer sizes.
Welcome back. The next problem begins with 5 3/8 black bottom pie.
That's ours.
Suppose your father agreed to make black bottom pies for his company picnic. It rains the day of the picnic and many people call him to say they can't come. He does some quick figuring and starts to give you 5 3/8 black bottom pies. Then he stops and says, I think I'll save 1 1/2 pies to give to my boss. How many pies does that leave for you?
Oh, this one's
3 minus 1 is 2, and then 8 minus 2 is 6, and then 4. Yeah.
Well, our champions rank first. You name them, you claim them, you guess them, you possess them. How many pies?
4 and 2 6.
You don't look too sure, Sherry.
Well, my estimate's a little different, but we both got 4 and 2 6 when we calculated.
Tell us how you got your answer.
Okay, first you subtract 3/8 minus 1/2. Since 3 is larger than 1 and 8 is larger than 2, you can go ahead and subtract. Then I subtracted 5 minus 1 is 4, so 4 and 2 6.
Are Sherry and Anne-Marie right, or are they wrong? Sorry, Sherry. Sherry, could you please explain to Champ where they went wrong?
Your problem was in how you subtracted 1/2 from 3/8. When you subtract fractions, you can't just subtract numerator from numerator and denominator from denominator. Remember that first question, are the denominators the same? If they aren't, you have to make them the same.
Why do you have to do that?
Think about what a fraction is. 1/8 is 1 out of 8 equal-sized pieces. Each of them is small. But 1/2 is 1 out of only 2 equal-sized pieces. It's much bigger. In fact, the smaller a denominator is, the bigger each part will be.
So what do we do?
Wait, can't you rename the halves into 8s?
Right. The first step is to make the denominators the same.
1/2 is 4/8.
Right.
Then let's get back to the problem. 5 and 3/8 minus 1 and 1/2, which is renamed as 1 and 4/8, equals 5 and 3/8 minus 1 and 1/2, which is renamed as 1 and 4/8.
10/8, yeah. Okay, so 10/8 plus 3 is 13/8 plus 4. So 4 minus 1 equals 3. 13 minus 4 equals 9.
9/8.
Whoa, our champions have another answer. Remember, if you don't get it right this time, the challengers get a free try. What's your answer?
3 and 9/8.
And how did you get that answer?
Well, since 4/8 is larger than 3/8, I renamed the 5 and 3/8 as 4 and 13/8. 13 minus 4 equals 9/8.
Wait, we have a double point challenge. You've challenged the champions while they're answering. If you're right, you win all the black bottom pies. But if you're wrong, you have to give the other team everything you've won so far.
But we haven't won anything.
But remember, in order to win a double point challenge, not only do they have to be wrong, you have to give the right answer. Are you willing to take the risk?
Sure. What do we gotta lose?
Then what is your challenge answer?
3 and 7/8.
And how do you get that?
Okay, we renamed the 5 and 3/8 pies as 4 plus 1 plus 3/8 pies.
And we knew that 1 should be 8/8. See, they added it like it was 10 in whole numbers and said that 10 plus 3 equals 13/8.
But it's only supposed to be 8/8 plus 3/8, which equals 11/8.
11/8 minus 4/8 equals 7/8. 4 minus 1 equals 3. The answer is 3 and 7/8.
Are Lars and Eduardo right, or are they wrong? First, put their show the viewing audience.
Okay, here we have 5 and 3/8 black bottom pies. And you want to subtract 1/2. That's 1 and 4/8. 1 whole pie and 4 pieces. So we take away these 3 pieces and 1 more to make 4. And 1 more whole pie. And what does that leave? 3 and 7/8 black bottom pies.
Well, that's it for today's show. Hope you had fun watching. And remember, do your fractions at home. Bye now.
This program was supported in part by the National Science Foundation and was produced by John Allman and Art Fitzsimmons, under the supervision of the Agency for Instructional Technology, AIT.